Alrighty, so for our breakdown today, we have JLA New World Order.
New World Order.
Mm-hmm. This was from 1997. The series ran from January 1997 in JLA number 1 through JLA number 4 of April 1997.
How many tie-ins? 652 tie-in issues.
No, it was just a straight JLA.
Oh, that's wild.
It did not have tie-in.
They tie in so fucking hard. You need a fucking directory.
Again, this was 1997 though, so not everything tied in, which is cool. And it wasn't a big
World-shattering one.
right. It wasn't like the War
That a code-changing.
Right. It wasn't War of the Gods, Crisis on Infinite Earths. It wasn't like that. This is literally just a JLA like set
Cool.
for 4 issues.
Let's hear it.
It's one that you've probably heard of before, but we'll go through it again. So the main heroes in this are Aquaman, Batman.
Aquaman. The fact that he's on the top makes me upset.
It's alphabetical.
Okay, just making sure. Like I was thinking, like from importance.
No, no, this is all alphabetical. Aquaman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
So like the core.
Yeah, the literal core.
It's almost like the core from the Justice League TV show.
Yeah.
Although for whatever reason, they never had Aquaman as like a mainstream.
Mm-hmm. And if I remember right, it was Kyle Rayner as Green Lantern.
It was Jon Stewart.
Was it Jon Stewart?
My boy with that voice.
In 97?
I'm talking about the TV show.
Oh, the TV show. Yeah. I know Kyle Rayner was never in it.
And neither was Aquaman, which was weird. Like he was in it, but like as a side character.
Yeah, he was never a main character in that, was he?
I was surprised, yeah.
Huh. I never thought about that. But he really wasn't. And whenever they did the JLA and the DC animated movies, they used Hal Jordan, which was odd, too. Huh. As is. But, all right, so JLA New World Order was a 4-issue story arc and the inaugural event of the 1997 ongoing JLA title. The story was written by Grant Morrison, with illustrations and cover art by Howard Porter and John Dell. Pat Garrahy and Heroic Age provided the coloring, and Kent Lopez provided the lettering.
Heroic Age.
I guess that's a
Greatest
pseudonym.
fucking name I've ever heard in my life.
Pseudonym. The story was edited by Ruben Diaz. All 4 issues chronicling the event were collected in a trademark paperback form in 1997 and in a hardcover edition in 2008, which is the first time I've seen it.
Years ago.
Yeah.
I guess years after.
The story arc is significant for not only being the first major story of the new title, but also for regrouping the Justice League of America, known as the JLA at this point, with a familiar and popular team roster. So that's when we finally got back to having the original 7 instead of having Justice League, Justice League United and all those other JLAs that had existed.
I mean, like Justice League Unlimited? Like 6,000 superheroes in the show? Dude, I love
many.
I love the question, though. Yeah, the best character arc.
Yeah, until you told me the origin story that they formed now. Fucking stupid. Just, oh my God. It is the first time that heavy hitters such as Aquaman, Batman, Martian Manhunter, Superman, and Wonder Woman have all been teamed up on one team since the mid-1980s at this point.
Okay.
So we get them all back together in this 1997 beginning again for JLA.
Beatles are back.
Yeah. The series also introduced the concept of the White Martians, an aggressive, more predatory race of the Martians, dramatically different and dramatically more different than the green Martians like Martian Manhunter.
This must have been the basis for the show then, because the first 2 episodes were about the White Martian invasion.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So what they did,
and it was them meeting John Jones for the first time.
Yeah. Only in this, John had already existed for a while. So we start off, a team of galactic super beings calling themselves the Hyper Clan have come to to Earth.
The White Martians.
That's the...
I know, but I know who they are.
The Hyper Clan is what they call themselves. So the Hyper Clan, and I'll give Noé a picture here to see what they look like whenever they first show up. No.
I do love me some nudity.
They try to make themselves look like superheroes. Crazy looking superheroes, but
fail miserably.
Yes. So they come to Earth and they make a showy spectacle of themselves at the National Mall, introducing themselves to the world. They told the tale of how their home world had been decimated by ecological irresponsibility.
That's a great fucking wording. I like it. Ecological irresponsibility.
And that they now pledged themselves towards preventing the same catastrophes from happening to other planets. They announced that they were here on Earth to heal the world. That's their whole concept here.
Go back to your own planet, you fucking hippies.
The general populace of Earth immediately take a liking to the HyperClan, but Earth's superhero population, they start to become dubious about their intentions as soon as they meet them. Like, Superman's like, "Who the fuck is this? Like, who the hell you think you are?" So the HyperClan, they start gaining massive respect whenever they start pulling their talents toward terraforming the Sahara Desert.
And they start having like Instagram and like TikTok videos all over this. People are loving them. Superman's got like 800 followers and they got like 1,000. Like, God dang. God dang.
They start posting to the gram and stuff.
Yeah, he's like, damn it, they got more subscribers than I do.
So they start terraforming the Sahara Desert, turning the arid, barren wasteland into a virtual paradise at this point. So they freeze water from lakes and stuff like that with like their like Superman-esque like freeze breath and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They take it and then melt it over the Sahara Desert, turn it into like a rainforest, like where things just start regrowing.
Does that even work? I mean, don't they need plants first? Or like seeds?
I think they go through and find a way to plant trees and stuff like that, all within the Sahara
You can't
Desert.
just throw water somewhere and expect something to grow.
Right. Superman then goes on record expressing his concerns over these demonstrations, citing that there is no way one could determine the long-term geological or social ramifications of such a massive change to the
He
environment.
goes fucking Instagram live, like, look, you guys gotta listen to me. Everyone's like, boo, boo.
He's like, you don't know the ramifications.
You don't know the ramifications.
So despite the legitimacy of the Man of Steel's concerns, most people thought that he was just having sour grapes.
So I am right. Just fucking ragging on Superman. Like, don't be such a bitch, Superman.
Well, you couldn't do it, so they did it.
No, that's not, and he just flies away. That's not true.
And they basically say that he's jealous of HyperClan.
So he's writing exactly how I would have.
Exactly. He's just jealous of HyperClan's goals to improve life rather than simply slugging it out with supervillains all the time. Like, I'm just hit.
No, I'm not just all fist. I'm also a brain. 2 + 2 is 4.
It's 5. He's getting completely wrong.
Got like 163,000 dislikes on Instagram. Like, damn it.
That dislike button's getting worse.
Going to town on his TikTok videos.
And then the HyperClan, they also use their abilities to serve as law enforcement, catching dangerous criminals and executing them.
Oh, fuck.
Public support for the
Let me guess. They're like, yeah, you gotta get extreme with these villains.
Yes,
Public extreme. No, you have to be extreme.
public support for their actions increased exponentially.
Dang, is this written in 2024?
Superman and his colleagues in the JLA soon discover, however, that there were more to the HyperClan than what they seemed. They suspected a connection between the HyperClan and the unidentified groups of invaders who came from out of nowhere and destroyed the Justice League's previous satellite headquarters.
Damn.
So that when they came through, they destroyed the satellite headquarters first.
They just fucking ran it over. They didn't even see it. They weren't even trying. They just, oh, what the fuck was that?
Superman, Batman, he's like, I fucking paid for that.
Oh, God damn, it's $3 billion down the fucking drain. God damn.
This incident resulted in the disbanding of the previous league.
You know what? And the fact that Batman like funds most of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, in my head, I imagined him like somewhere like in the middle of the night. It's like Saturday at night, right?
Yeah.
And he's just got a big stack of receipts and a little like calculator. God dang, 150 grand for what? God dang. He's just fucking. Would that not be fucking funny? He's just fucking. God dang, man.
Well, wasn't it was it Family Guy that made fun of that? Where it's like, we need to buy a new headquarters, and it's like you have who was it? Superman saying Bruce Wayne, he would be able to pay for it. No, he wouldn't. I know who he is. No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't pay for that. No.
Batman just broke his head like that.
So this incident results in the disbanding of the previous league and the apparent death of the team member Metamorpho. The HyperClan, meanwhile, continue to maintain a foothold on the planet. They erect a massive watchtower citadels all across the globe and headquartered themselves in a fortress in Antarctica named Zanzor.
Damn, they're just fucking making tracks all everywhere.
The Justice League soon learned that the HyperClan were not the benevolent beings they pretended to be and were using mind control technology to turn public opinion against the League,
Oh.
thus embracing the HyperClan as Earth's preeminent champions. So it wasn't long before the League and the HyperClan came to blows. So they start wailing on each other.
But everybody's like, finally.
Superman fought against their leader Protex, which he's like a yellow, like glowing dude.
That's that one? Okay.
Yeah, where he looks like he's like yeah. Wonder Woman and Aquaman fight against the female HyperClan members Primate and Tronix.
So like that big Hulk looking one?
Mm.
And the red one with the titties out?
The Flash and Green Lantern had their hands full with Zenturion and the super speedster Zoom.
And I can know which one that one is.
Yeah, that's easy.
Looks like Quicksilver.
Yeah. While the Martian Manhunter swaps blows with the armored Armek. Batman concentrated his efforts on the Wraith-like Immortal.
Yeah, I see that one, yeah. On the top with the skull.
Yeah, like a Grim Reaper looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many are there? 1, 2, 3.
Same number as their Justice League.
Okay.
So they fight against their own counterparts, basically.
Right.
Protex placed the League members inside of an ancient torture device called the Flower of Wrath. After this, that happens though. After, let's see here, because I skipped ahead of the stuff that I wrote down. So you have Batman fighting against Immortal, but lost the initial round whenever Immortal destroys his Batplane.
Damn it, my bad plan.
Yes.
Fucking $200 million down the fucking drain.
Yeah. So in total, the HyperClan scored a divisive victory over the League. Protex brought all of the captured members back to Zanzor, and that's where they put the Martian Manhunter. He's missing in action, and Batman is presumed dead.
Ouch.
After his Batplane caught fire. Protex placed the League members inside of the ancient torture device known as the Flower of Wrath. Although his victory over the League seemed to be complete, his downfall was soon forthcoming. Because he made one mistake in his calculations, and you already know who that was against.
So Aquaman?
Batman. He assumed Batman was dead. So that was probably the dumbest thing you could have done. Batman had survived the crash of the Batplane and had infiltrated Zanzor. So he made his way into this tower that they had in Antarctica. Creeping about the lower levels of the Citadel, he discovered the truth about the HyperClan's origins. They were Martians. So, of course, Batman's the detective, to figure out they're not some super far-off alien race. They're just white Martians. As such, Batman knew that they were vulnerable to the fires. So, armed with his new and valuable knowledge, he began conducting surgical strikes against that team. So,
Alfred launched the nukes.
Taking them down one at a time. Because he knew their weakness was fire.
We're going to throw fire at him.
He started using lighters and matches.
There you go, bitch. Ah!
The Martian Manhunter, meanwhile, had disguised himself as a HyperClan member, Armek, and was waiting for the opportune time to strike. So he wasn't missing in action either. He shape-shifted into one of them.
So you beat the hell out of one of them?
Yeah.
And took his place?
And while imprisoned, Superman learned for himself that his captors were Martians. He was able to break free of his bonds and fight back. The Martian Manhunter switched back to his normal form and deactivated the Flower of Wrath, freeing the rest of his teammates. But the funniest part that I find in all of it is that whenever you have this guy telling Superman, like, Batman's dead. Like, we killed him. Like, he's not coming back while they're sitting in this torture device. And you have Superman, do you think or do you know? And he's like, no, we think he's dead. And he's like, you just basically released the most dangerous man in the world on you by not checking to see if he's dead. And Batman, the only reason he even figured out that they were weak to fire is because they didn't check the plane crash. Because it was on fire. So they just assumed, oh, he's dead. They didn't even go look because there's fire right there.
To be fair, if someone bursts into flames, I'd be like, well, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
The Batman? Nah. Hold my beer. I'm coming back. Just fuck them all up. So the JLA and the HyperClan have their final battle on the frozen wasteland surrounding Zanzor. They succeeded in defeating them, but quickly became aware of an even more pressing concern. Prior to the battle, Protex had sent a signal to the Martian invasion fleet waiting to attack Earth from a hyperspace pocket called the Still Zone. The Martians began striking at a major populous center, and the people of Earth stood little chance against him. Back at Zanzor, Superman broadcast a global message, telling the world about the Martians and their vulnerability to fire. As nearly everyone had access to some kind of flammable accelerant, it wasn't long before the people of Earth were able to repel the Martian force.
You think they would have thought, like, maybe we should get some type of special suits,
No,
flavor retardant type of things to keep us from bursting in the fucking flames.
no.
God, reminds me of the dumbass aliens from Signs.
Yeah,
Fucking horrible, afflicted by water.
yes,
They come to a planet that fucking rains a lot.
exactly.
Fucking genius.
So with the crisis passed, the League was tasked with the responsibility of what to do about the HyperClan. Martian Manhunter psychically lobotomized the team members of the HyperClan completely.
Face down, ass up, huh?
Yep, forcing them to assume mundane humanoid forms.
Ouch.
Forged with their new identities and no knowledge of their Martian heritage, they were sent out into the world to join the human race.
Fucking bogged down by bills and
It's like, you know what?
terrible
You're
fucking
tortured.
jobs.
That would be more torture.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's like, you know what? How about no prison for you? I'm going to lobotomize you and you're going to go work. You're going to go work a mundane job.
Fucking working at Sonic, just fucking slam.
The car hop.
Like, damn.
And since he lobotomized them, they also don't have their fear of fire.
But they should still have a fear of fire. I'm afraid of fire.
Not like, I mean, like a debilitating weakness to fire anymore. Because that's the whole thing with John Jones, too, is that I can't remember how late it was, but they actually got him to overcome his fear of fire because it was a psychological thing. It wasn't really any like actual weakness to fire itself. Because I know during Batman, like when Batman in Justice League Tower of Babel, where he has his whole plans of how to defeat every member of the Justice League, he used that psychological fear against Martian Manhunter. And he lit his ass on fire too with magnesium,
Magnesium.
where the fire doesn't go out in water.
More space.
Not particularly.
Still oxygen in space.
Doesn't have to.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. Whatever chemical he coated Martian Manhunter in, it was enough to keep burning everywhere. It didn't need oxygen.
Figure something.
It was like a chemical fire. It wasn't.
Chemical compound.
Yeah.
Well, sand. I'll find a way. You don't just kill me.
But yeah, that was the HyperClan.
Hyperclan.
I mean, you see what they look like though.
Yeah.
They look like some of them look like horrible versions of the character.
Yeah, no kidding.
Although the Immortal doesn't look too bad. The Grim Reaper one.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look too terrible.
They got two heavy hitters too. That Hulk looking one and the Mr. Thing looking one.
Yeah.
Or not Mr. Thing, the Thing. Okay.
Decent little. It was the first 4 issues of that new Justice League book set.
Roster. Was it like it was the start of a new ongoing series, or was it just standalone? Okay.
Yeah, it was the new series of Justice League, and like I said, they hadn't been together, these core members, since the mid 1980s.
Damn.
So this is them bringing them back into one team again.
Like, we're back.
Obviously, it gave rise to Justice League Unlimited and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
this was moving away from like Justice League of America, Justice League, what was it, International?
Well, Justice League Secret.
Right, there
They're
was
like Task Force. Justice League, not the Justice League, but sort of Justice League.
right. It was like
Justice League's Junior Division.
because with the whole like death of Superman in the early 90s, they started having so many different versions of Justice League that this was back to where instead of just saying Justice League, it went back to JLA.
Talk about like the craziest fucking character decision for anybody, fictional character,
Mhm.
is making Superman blue and red.
Oh, that was weird.
That was it not? Like, it's
That
the
was very weird.
weirdest decision I've ever seen for a character ever.
Yes.
They took the Man of Steel and made up some weird like split personality of two different entities.
Yeah.
And a blue run and a red Superman.
And then he came back together again.
And I'm back. It was such a weird choice.
But remember though, after the New 52,
They,
none of
they
them.
must have done a line of fucking cocaine. They were like, I got a fucking idea. Whatever it was, two cents fucking grinding his teeth back left to right. You ever seen anyone do that?
Yeah.
Like the people with dentures, like click their teeth left to right.
Yeah.
I had this old lady one day. She was like she was clicking away. I'm like, are you doing Morse code? Do you need help? It was like just clicking, clacking. Must be nice to be able to click your teeth and not worry about them getting cracked. You know?
I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, imagine like clicking your teeth together, your real teeth.
Ugh.
They can do that with dentures because they don't feel it. But man, that shit would hurt.
I mean, I can click my teeth a little, but I don't want to do it too hard.
Yeah.
It's like crack teeth.
Ow.
Oh shit. I don't want to go through all that. But like I said, all this now, it has no effect on the canon of DC Universe. I thought it was cool, but I if I cover any more comic books or anything like that, though, I'll go back to the ones that actually were more interesting compared to what we have now. I looked at some of the stuff, like you have High School Batman now, where it's like a manga.
Goddamn trigonometry.
Oh,
I can't figure it out.
oh, so stupid. Which reminds me, did you see what Disney did to the 1997 X-Men?
No.
They took away the ass that Rogue had.
She had an ass?
You didn't see that. The ass in the comic, not the comic.
One of the rare times where I wasn't highly sexualized was when I was watching the 1997 X-Men.
I'm just saying, they took away the crease of like how her ass would have looked.
Oh,
Like they desexualized all those characters completely.
that's all right.
They weren't sexualized to begin with, really.
Hey, bub. I'm Wolverine, bub. Look at my hairy ass chest.
But yeah, that's all I got on our dive today.
Hard ass nibbles.